Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Care Sandwich. I'm going to interview Stacey Isaac here in a little bit. She is a managing partner at an amazing law firm in Florida. And before we bring her on to the digital stage to share her story with you, we're going to play this quick video to remind you about what Care Sandwich is all about.
Welcome to Care Sandwich, the podcast where we dive into the success journeys of law firm owners across the country. I'm Margarita Eberline, your host and the founder of Marketing Boss, a fractional chief marketing officer firm for law firms. On this show, we'll explore the challenges, strategies, and victories that have shaped law firms and how they wrap every interaction with care. Because we believe that caring isn't just a value, it's a strategy for success. So grab your favorite sandwich, sit back, and let's dig into a conversation filled with insight, inspiration, and of course, a lot of care.
Welcome to the stage, Stacey Isaac. Come join me.
Thank you, Margarita. Nice to see you.
It's always lovely to see you coming to us from sunny Florida. I wish I was there. It is cold here. I may or may not have an electric blanket on my lap, like an old lady.
Really?
I have circulation problems. But anyway, Stacey, I would love for you to share your story with us. And I personally have been so inspired by you and your journey as an entrepreneur and the way that you just balance so many things. And I've been talking to law firm owners for years, and I think especially like mom law firm owners, it can feel like you're just never going to get to that point where you have a rhythm. And let's talk about that, about you, about your story, about your life. I find it so inspiring. So I know that you're going to help a lot of people with your message.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I can't say that I have it down to a complete science or system yet. Definitely a work in progress. And that is why my podcast is called Success of a Hot Mess, because I still do view myself very much a hot mess, doing a ton of things. I don't know how we get it all done, but we all manage to do it. I can't tell you there's a specific formula.
And for those of you that don't know, Stacey, you are a managing partner at a law firm. And what else do you do with your life?
Okay, so I have two teenage daughters that still, require a lot of my time. One is heavily involved in competitive dance, so she takes up a lot of my time. I am the lead singer in a cover band, so between practices and gigging, that's also time consuming. I still love to exercise, so I try to squeeze that in. And what am I missing here? Just basically trying to handle client relations at our firm. I'm no longer taking cases, but I'm responsible for the satisfaction of the clients. So staying on top of the attorneys. And, I'm also a wife and a daughter. My dad is 84. He requires some care as well. So trying to juggle a lot of things, like I know most of us are.
That's big. And your law firm is a very successful firm, very well known. And I know that the you that had just started out, could definitely look at the you that you are now and say, wow. So how did you go from the you that just started out and was trying to figure it out to you being able to manage all these things? I know that you're saying that, yes, it's not like a perfect science or whatnot, but it is a lot. And there were baby steps. What are some of those baby steps that you took to make it happen?
Yeah, it's hard to believe that we're already 12 years in, but the famous story is that my husband and I and our other partner, William, so David Ben and William Harrow, my partners, we literally came up with the law firm at our dining room table in our small house in Weston. And we just said, how are we going to do this? The three of us, how are we going to get cases? And I would say David took on the big role of basically marketing. And at that time, it was very much grassroots marketing. It was, sending a basket of food to personal injury lawyers or me going out to lunch. But at that time, we were doing everything ourselves. So we were handling the cases that came in, handling the intake, handling all the litigation, handling our own scheduling. We were just 3 people. Now we're, 50 plus. But look, it took over a decade. But I will say, and I mentioned this to my husband earlier today, thank goodness I am a business owner, because if I did have to go to a strict 9 to 5 attorney job at this point, I could not balance all of it. So I highly recommend, having your own firm if you have the opportunity to do so, because it does provide flexibility.
Did you ever have what I describe as a dark night of the soul moment where you're like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. What was I thinking? I hate this. I hate everyone. Everybody go away. Like, leave me alone. I quit. Like, and how did you overcome it?
I think that probably happened like 5 times through the years, where I threw up my hands and said, I'm out. Like, this is too much trouble. It's a lot of stress managing people. I think I'd rather just go back to working for someone else. I overcame that by really leaning on people. Like, there's a reason we have the expression, it takes a village. I am not shy to ask for help. I would ask for help from, maybe not everybody has a spouse or a partner, but maybe there's a family member or a friend, or maybe you can even hire someone to help with certain things, like getting my daughter to dance because I had to go meet with a client. I was never shy about asking for help. I know some people are and they want to do it all, but I think there is no shame in leaning on others to get where you're going.
I love that. And I can definitely relate because, I'm raising 5 boys and I don't have a spouse, and that's how I do it. Like, I ask everybody and anybody. I rely on the kindness of strangers oftentimes for so many things. And I don't do it in like because I can't do it kind of way. I do it because I want to be present. I don't want to be like cranky, So yeah, but I think I did go through a season where I felt bad about asking, like, oh man, I must be such a failure if I have to ask for help. I don't know if you ever had those kinds of thoughts too.
I had those thoughts when I had babies and I was using a nanny. I really felt like there was a stigma, and I was going out at that time to a 9 to 5 law job. And, I had my 12 weeks off after I had the baby, but I went right back, and there was some guilt. But I'm here to tell you, my kids don't remember that at all, and they are very well adjusted. And I actually am proud that they have gotten to witness a mom who has had a career, who has maintained hobbies, who didn't, let herself go, because sadly, a lot of women do give up everything when they have their children. And I do think you can achieve some sort of balance. Not saying I have it perfected, but I think we have a pretty good thing going.
Yeah. Was there ever a moment where you felt like things were just not working no matter what you did? And how did you overcome that?
Hey there, I hope you're enjoying the conversation and your sandwich as much as we are. I want to take a moment to share a few words about our sponsor, Marketing Boss. If you're a law firm owner looking to supercharge your growth, our team at Marketing Boss is here to help. We've got over a decade of experience and a proven track record, and we specialize in growing law firms like yours with data-driven marketing leadership. So if you own a law firm and you're ready to get a predictable, steady flow of cases from your marketing, let's connect at marketing-boss.com.
I would say that was in the very early stages. Again, like when I had an infant, and at the time, my husband, his job was, he made most of his money on the weekends. So I would work all week, and we had the nanny. The nanny would leave on the weekends, and I was alone, exhausted with the baby. And I think at that time I was really, just sad about how things were going. And just me personally, I am more fulfilled when I am doing all of these things. I like having the hobbies and the job. And even though the job has evolved from litigation to now managing people or doing the social media for the firm, I like having all of these things to do. I'm not good with inertia.
Yeah, I love that. I have so much respect for what you're describing, and thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing those things. I just think it's so valuable because oftentimes I speak to, especially like I mentioned, female mom law firm owners, and when they're in that dark place, like it feels impossible. So it's great that you're sharing some of these practical things that you did, the way that you handled it. What would you say to a law firm owner that is wondering if they're even cut out to be a law firm owner? Maybe I should just go get a job at a law firm.
I would say to that law firm owner who's having doubts to stay the course, at least give it 3 years, because there were some tough times at the beginning. Cases were not flowing in. I mean, you have to really stick with it, because I think the reward is this flexibility that I'm talking about. If I want to go in the middle of the day to watch, one of my daughters perform, I can do that because now I have 50 employees that keep the machine running. So I think anyone can be cut out for it. You just have to stay the course.
So tell us about that. What's it like watching your kids do all these things, and what's it like to be in a band? Talk to us about some of that fun stuff.
Oh, so I mean, you're a mom, so I'm sure you understand the joy that comes along with watching your child in their happy place, doing something, that I just told one of my daughters last night, because she said, "You spent how much money on photos of me dancing?" She couldn't believe. And I said, "You do not understand that watching you dance is one of the greatest joys of my life." And my other daughter is just great academically, and she's a model. So watching her in her element, I never got to be like a sports mom, never went to, soccer games or any of that, because I have girls who just didn't partake in sports. But watching your children do what they excel at, I mean, it could be anything, but it brings a lot of joy.
And what's it like to be in a band? Talk to us about that.
They could probably do like a case study on the personality of lead singers of bands, because we're the ones right up front. We're not kind of like the drummer. Sadly, nobody sees the drummer. No one really knows who the bass player is. Sorry, guys, if you're listening. But the type of person that likes to be right up front with the microphone, I don't know, one might say they enjoy the attention. But I think for me, it allows me to maybe be a persona that I am not normally, like as an attorney. People they're like shocked. They're like, "You sing in a rock band? I can't picture that."
Yeah, no, I love that you said that, because like, I've been with you in person, and you're just very chill. Like, just, you're not a look at me guys kind of person. Like, you're very chill, very just calm energy. And so I think it's such a fun thing that you then have this other side of you that you play with on a stage. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like the alter ego.
I know. I think I need one of those. I have one, but just in power.
Didn't you say you dance or no?
No, I wish. I actually joke that I'm the only Mexican in the state of Georgia that can't dance. I have 2 left feet.
So. That's impossible.
But I can run. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so I have one more question for you, and then I know you have a busy life to get back to, but the fun question that I have for you is, what is your favorite sandwich, is my next question, or my last question, really.
I mean, Margarita, does everyone not say grilled cheese?
No, I don't like grilled cheese.
Oh my gosh.
You eat
nothing
that?
Better.
Really?
Nothing better.
With all that butter? Stop
I don't actually put butter on it, but a grilled cheese with a tomato soup is chef's kiss.
Bueno. Okay.
What's yours?
Great. I like all kinds of sandwiches, but I am biased toward the Italians. I like the salami, all the like
All the
all the
meats. Okay.
Yes, all the
Gotcha.
meats, all the sauces. So, yes, and for those of you that want to learn more about Stacey and her law firm, here's some of her contact info, and y'all have to check out her podcast. Tell us again how they can find you if they want to check out your podcast.
So you can find my podcast on YouTube or Spotify. It's called Success of a Hot Mess. And Margarita has been a guest, so you can go look for that episode.
Oh my gosh, yes. I feel like that was ages ago, and I had such a blast.
You were
yeah.
one of my first guests.
Really? Okay, cool. I didn't know that. Awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. And for those of you that are watching / listening, I hope that you enjoyed these insights from a girl who's been through it and who came out on the other side. And yes, things are not always perfect, but there's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel. So show up, do the work, and enjoy the success. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Care Sandwich. Remember, the way we care for our clients, our teams, and ourselves can make all the difference in our success. Until next time, keep caring, keep growing, and I'll see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.